Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are watching from in the world. Welcome to Gospel Faith Television UK. And my name is Pastor Ojimba Alex. And today's topic is going to be the light. Yeah. I chose this topic today because in the world today, there's so much darkness. But having said that there's so much darkness in the world today, you can't blame the world for being in this situation that it is. Because rather than complaining and talking about situations and saying, oh, this thing didn't go the right way, or that one didn't go the right way, or you're fuming, or you're angry, or there's always an outburst of irritation coming out of you, you can be the light yourself. Pastor Ojimba Alex chose to be the light. Many people have been born into this world and they are dead. Either from one reason or the next. Maybe it's a crime, maybe it's a drug deal, maybe it's animosity, maybe it's criminology, but these are not the ways of the light. Listen, when God first created the world, God said, let there be light. And the reason why God said let there be light is because the Bible says that when God created the world was void. Void means empty, and it was full of darkness. And God looked into the world that He created. And God said, no, this is not complete. He said, let there be light. And the light came into the world. So when God said, let there be light, in other words as well, God is saying to you right there in Canada, you right there in Lagos, you right there in China, you right there in Accra, you right there in Ukraine. God is saying, no, you can be the light. You right there that is unemployed. You right there that don't have no food in your fridge. You right there that is always complaining, I'm homeless. No. Stop looking at things from that perspective. Begin to have a touch of positivity. Turn the situation around and say you can be the light. And that's why the theme of my subject today is be the light. I became the light myself. I'm no more Alexander Ojimba. I'm now Pastor Ojimba Alex. There's a title there. That title came with light. So the theme for today is be the light. What's the theme for today? What's the theme for today?
Be the light.
Be the light. Whenever you go into a place, a domain, there has to be this aura about you. Your presence has got to be felt. Anywhere Jesus Christ went to, He did miracles. He was exciting. He left the multitude with great memories. Why? Because He's the light. Nothing is hidden underneath the light. So, the topic for today is be the light. Anyway, about 2 weeks ago, obviously I live in London, in England, and I live in the south of London, and I got a phone call. And I was told to go to a part of London which is called Wandsworth. And I think Wandsworth is based more on the southwest of London. Yeah, I think it's southwest. It's not West London, it's southwest London. Yeah, Wandsworth is close to Battersea. So I got this call. And they said, Pastor Ojimba Alex, we would like you to go and do some inspection in a shop in Wandsworth. And I said, okay, I'll be there. So I took the bus all the way from Kennington, where I live in London, and it took me about 30 minutes on the bus. I think I went to Vauxhall station, and I must have taken the bus 87, I think. If I'm not making a mistake, I took the bus 87, it took about 30 minutes. I got to Wandsworth, and when I got to this shop inside the shopping centre in Wandsworth, I saw this elderly lady inside the shop, and we used to work together, apparently. And I said, "Hello, madam, how are you?" I shook her hand, and she looked so miserable inside the shop. And I said, "Are you okay?" And she said to me, "I am okay, but customers don't come into the shop." That's what she said. She said, "I'm always in the shop, but customers do not come into the shop." And I asked her, "But why is it that customers don't come into the shop?" She said, "Well, I don't know. I come in the morning, I just sit here, and customers don't come into the shop." She looked so bored, and she looked so sad as well. So, obviously I was wearing my suit, and I had my briefcase, and the whole shop was very quiet, and it looked so dead, so I was looking around, and I'm like, but to be honest with you, outside of the shop was so lively. There was other people in the shopping centre in Wandsworth coming out of the Sainsbury's, coming out of the Greggs. So other shops were lively, but that shop wasn't lively itself. So I said to the woman, "Why is the shop so dead and so quiet?" And she said to me, "I don't know why." She looked so bored, and she wasn't even talking. So I said to her, "I think I know the reason why customers are not coming into your shop." And she said to me, "Why do you think that is?" And I said to her, "The reason why customers are not coming into your shop is because you have to be the light." And when I said that, her face lit up. She went from being sad and staying in one little dead place to her face lighting up. And I saw it. There was a reaction. And I said, "No, the reason why people are not coming into your shop, and the reason why your shop is dead and so quiet, is because you have to be the light." And this woman, I think she's probably in her 70s or something like that. So I said to her, she said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Okay, I'll tell you what I mean." I said, "If I worked in your shop," I said, "this place will be filled with customers." And she said, well, customers don't come in here." She said, "I've been working here for 3 years, customers don't come in here." No, I said, no, there's a difference. You work in here, customers don't come in here. But I said, I am the light. I am Pastor Jimba Alex. I said, if I worked in your shop, this shop, it would be full of customers. So I sat down in the shop and I was talking to her. And I started giving her testimonies, Christian testimonies. I was saying to her, "This is what I do, this is what I do. I'm always reaching out to people. I'm always telling people about Christ." And after 1 hour of talking to this same elderly lady in the shop, for some reason, a customer came in. Wow. So that means I was the light then. So now the shop has gone from not having any customers, and she was looking like she wanted to go home, but after giving her Christian testimonies, saying, no, I go around the country, I give out leaflets, I tell them about Christ, I tell people about Christ in them, how they can bring the light out of their own bodies, and they can bring it into the world. And as I was talking to her, I could see life coming to the lady. Then suddenly the customer, one white middle-aged lady, came into the shop. And when the middle-aged lady came into the shop, she had a 3-year-old daughter. And she was looking around the shop. And I was looking at that elderly lady, like to say, "I told you that if I worked here, customers would be coming in here." So the customer that came in, the white middle-aged customer that came in, she started talking to me. And she said to me, "Oh, I like the products in your shop." As I was talking to this customer that came into the shop, and I looked at the products here, suddenly there was life in the shop. There was life inside the products, I could see it. That's why Jesus Christ said he is the light of the world. So as I was talking to the woman, and she said to me that she's interested in the products in the shop, and she was looking around, and her little 3-year-old was playing with the toys inside the shop. She told me that she was from Russia, and she kept on smiling. And as I was talking to her, I was saying to her, so what products would you be interested in? She's looking at different products, and she bought a toy, like a car, for her 3-year-old daughter. And as we were talking, another customer came in with a 2-year-old daughter. And when she came in, she came to me as well. And she said to me, oh, I like this shop. She said, I always walk past this shop, but I've never been into this shop before. But for some reason, something made her come into the shop. This is the second customer. She came and she said, something made her come into the shop. I said, you're welcome. What do you want? She was looking around. She had a 2-year-old daughter. So now we've got 2 customers in the shop. And she began to tell me, yeah, that she's gonna, what's it called, buy the products. And she was buying the products. And she started telling me that her father died of cancer. And she looked so miserable. And I said, oh, your father died of cancer. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And she said to me, but who am I? Because she'd never seen me in the shop before. I said, I am Pastor Jimba Alex. But the point I'm trying to make here is, we went from that first elderly lady in the shop looking so sad and miserable to no customers in the shop, to having no customers in the shop, then the shop looking so dead and quiet, and suddenly here we got 2 customers. One has bought a toy for her 3-year-old daughter, and now the second customer is buying products in the shop. The whole shop is lively and is vibrant. Miracles are taking place in the shop now. I became the light in the shop. And the other elderly lady, she was saying, oh, yeah. Oh, well, what can I do? So the second customer was telling me that her father died of cancer. And I was consoling. I said, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And I was consoling. I told her, have you heard of Jesus Christ of Nazareth? And I could see that she was crying heavily on the inside. So it's like she was bawling her heart out. She was crying her heart out. And she was telling me the story of how her father died. Said she wished she could keep her father alive, but he died of cancer. And I said to her, do you know what? Because there's not enough time, and she had to go as well. I said to her, you have to check my TV channel, which is Gospel Faith Television UK. And I gave her one of my leaflets, and she left with tears in her eyes. And she turned around and she waved and she said, I'm going to come back to this shop again. So, the moral of this story that I told you is, wherever you go, be the light. If I didn't go into that shop will still be dead and quiet till this day. But I brought the light of Jesus Christ into the shop, and miracles began to take place. So, the theme for this topic is, wherever you are in the world, be the light. I'm Pastor Jimba Alex. Thank you for tuning in. God bless you.